on your nose, but it's clear how my baby's running this block, cause you fear what you do to you if you get dirty hands and veneer. What you do, what she is, little boy, I tell you this. If baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and not cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. If baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and not cute. She can make it count, how about you? She would put you in the bag, yeah. Wouldn't even need a planet. If she wanted, she a magnet. They should let her name a planet. Everything she drop like Corona, viral, make the world start over like I own her. She ain't about to set, but they really wanna throne her. Listen, she like bass, she like Hova. Self-employed, moving paper better than some Billy Boy. Made a choice on the regular, she bring a milli home. Click my phone, get my ass up, get a dinner going. Watch she out there, making sure that you all know. Baby wants sit, she can sit. Baby says lit, it's lit. Got your blank account and not cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. Baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and not cute. She can make it count, how about you? She be always making money. If it's raining, if it's sunny, she make time to call me honey every day. Drop a couple bands on the click, they need pay. Then a couple more on the tip, baby saves. Daddy's just the everyday, imagine holiday. If I get the 50 cents, she get me holidays. Signing way too fly, if you meet her, know it's true. So if she ever asks you, you know that baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your blank account and not cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. Baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and not cute. She can make it count, how about you?
I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the soil. She taking me out of this world. I'ma go all the way up. Nice guy with a cold shoulder. You be cool, but I don't know you. Wrote a flower and I'm off the potion. Give me superpowers that I won't stop. To the bank roll on supermassive. Big bank for the space chatter. Way up in the squad NASA. Copperfield with the dark magic. Subtle flex when I run a race. Tell these rap buddies eat my dust. Lil baddie after cellular. Talking life and how we set it up. I'm a sharp shooter, yeah, Will Smith. Call me Prince Park, let me freshen up. Bay boy on a level up. Way up near the nebulas. I'm never copping a chain, cause I see it all through the frames. And I leave it all on the page. It's feeling like they want me locked in a cage. They want us all on the fade, but I'ma go all the way A with it, cause I don't feel all the way safe here. Yeah, spray the champagne, shower up in the air. Stunner goggles, I don't mess with the flu. Untamed and she wild off the goose. Ghost ride, yeah, I come through the roof. Ducking 12, get it all on my tail. Hella wild and I break all the rules. Chill, chill, bro, you way out of line. Yeah, I know it's a mood. I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the soil. She taking me out of this world, so I'ma go all the way up. Got the Jada squinting, got the gator spinning. I'm outrageous with it, going crazy with it. Got the phrase jumping off the page, gifted. Got the waves swishing, got the neighbors tripping. Got the trap booming, jumping out the speakers. Drip on me, jumping off the easel. Gold wristed, couldn't tell me nothing. Nah, bought a fist dude. Cooking the bars, turn a lab into a living kitchen. Watch them grimace when I water whip it. Subtle flexing, live a candid image. Come from pushing in the S-type with no license, gas low, the windows tinted. Still couldn't see me with the zoom on your little vision. Nah, we are not the same. We got different lenses, no one snapping like we something real vivid, keep it realistic. Quick to split it with my day ones. Got the label making bank runs, cause a train of thought like a freight, huh? I'm the type to get a late start. You the type to be afraid, huh? I'm the type to never have things. You the type to have it made, huh? Yeah, wave. And I keep fuel to the flame, huh? How they got me going this hard, really I'm the type to never say much. Vice grip, got the game clutch. Every song make the stage rush. I always said making money might change things, but never let it make us. I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the soil, she taking me out of this world. I'ma go
all the way up. They keep on calling my phone, they catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone, they catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, I'ma go all the way up. Y'all hit up with a dream, hold it down for my team. I'm afraid of how I'm feeling, I get high in the ceiling. How I'm feeling, high in the ceiling. I've been living like I'm past rules. In this rap tattoo, living like I'm finished.
Bitch, I'ma go all the way up.
No. Yeah. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. No. Yeah. I can't let him take my soul. No. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. No. See, we was cool right before it hit the fence, but it hit the fan when I got him down at the bench. But I took a break, I had to leave and go get cleansed. God forgive me for all my sins. I can't say these cause my last name ain't Ken. Cooking on the stove, that's the way he paid the rent. Working on the pole, that's the way she pays tuition. Better watch your soul, cause you know they trying to get it. Yeah. I learned my right from wrong on the song. I let my heart bleed on my sleeve through microphones. I'm trying to right my wrongs by writing out my wrongs. Ran through a check, cause it's hard to live off bread alone. So if you see me slipping, yeah, let me know. Cause it ain't the end of times yet, I know, but it's getting close. Yeah, I need my space to breathe, that's why I be going ghost. I ain't trying to stay up on that wide road, cause I can't let him take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. Nah, no. I can't let him take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. Nah, no. They thinking I'm bluffing, but I promise I do it. That K got a drum, like murder and booming. Sending you vert, if I get my little Uzi. They thinking I'm crazy, I'm gon' see you the haters. People I'm saying, get what I'm painting. A picture big, I call it little baby. If I'm on the board, then we playing chess. If you on my way, you gon' need a vest. Act big, you might get stretched. All your gun talk, I ain't impressed. My 45 seen real traffic. That's Dallas, Texas. My little partner called her body for a Maserati. He told him get up out the car, hit him with the shotty. That 12 gauge, gave him life in the 12th grade. I tried to write him, but we ain't on the same page. I caught him slipping, I just had to let him know. It ain't the end of times yet, I know, but it's getting close. These demons really out to get you, so you better guard your post. There's certain things I could probably let go, but I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. I can't let them take my soul.
Your friends chillin', day and night for days on end. Now you can't come see me tonight. Say you ain't got the time. I'm the last one you prioritize. Peeping your IG pictures on my phone. I won't spend another night at home. Okay, I'ma just be on my way. You'll see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know that life can be busy, love. You love, it's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, me the way I want you. Put your all into all that you do. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you've done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you've done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know?
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah, lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh, susceptible now before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah, and nothing can stop me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Susceptible now before the moment flies. Yeah.
If only you could see me now. If only you could tell me why you disappeared, you made me cry. So don't come back.
I don't mean to put it on your nose, but it's clear how my baby's running this a block, 'cause you fear what you do to you if you get dirty hands in veneer. What you do, what she is, little boy, I tell you this: if baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and not cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. If baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and not cute. She can make it count, how about you? She would put you in the bag. If she wanted, she a magnet. They should let her name a planet. Everything she drop like Corona, viral, make the world start over like a owner. She ain't about to set, but they really wanna throne her. Listen, she like bass, she like Hova. Self-employed, moving paper better than some Billy Boy. Made a choice on the regular, she bring a milli.
If only you could tell me why you disappeared, you made me cry. So don't come back.
You are now tuning in to TNJ Radio Show. Yo. What's cracking?
Excited to be here.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you say you're excited to be here. Why? What's going on in your world?
First off, I'm alive. But second of all, a couple of different topics. Some, considering the time. Thank you.
Hold on real quick. If you're here right now for the first time, we welcome you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure you get them comments popping today, man. Get them popping. So, but back to you. You say you're happy to be alive.
Oh yeah. Every day.
You happy to that we about to be in the metaverse?
Man. I got some thoughts on that, but we gonna get into that.
Right. Let me see here. Yeah, so you say you're good, man. So how was the week?
Pretty good week, man. Anytime at Pittsburgh in the middle of the winter when you can get 50 degrees, that's a great week.
Okay. Yeah, it was warm today too, man. I had the sunroof open, man, down here. You know how we do down in the South, man.
I talk about 50 degrees, y'all probably like, that's cold.
Yeah, it is cold, man. Down south, man, it's cold at 60, man. It's cold at 60. But yeah, man. So everything's good, man. How was the week, man? You got any stories to tell our audience this week? What you do?
I don't know, because I was kind of in a lot, this week. Had some car problems, but wasn't really as mobile as I'd like to be. But it's always fun when transmissions are the problem, because it makes you think about whether you want to keep on doing that car stuff or whether you want to go get a bike.
Yeah, you try to get a bike in 20-degree weather. Yeah, okay. Sure. We need cars, man. Yeah, man. You ever try leasing or think about leasing?
I thought about it, but I'd be over the mileage every single time.
Well, you get one car that you own, the rest lease, and put it in your LLC. You don't put anything in your name these days, man. No tracking. But yeah, man.
I used to think that going the used car route was the way, but the used cars they're getting expensive now.
That's right. Yeah, they I think I got a Ford trying to buy my car. They're the used car market is struggling right now. But it is what it is. What did I do this weekend? Chill with the wifey. Then we had a little date. That's what we did Saturday. Then Sunday, man. Ooh-wee. Man, I threw down in our kitchen. I don't play no games. Ain't that right, Kanye?
Do it yourself. Halfway. Take a few steps back to go. You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. Kanye. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. Kanye. I've been doing this more than you.
Kanye, I ain't need all that. Man. I ain't need all that. I just wanted you to validate what I was saying. But anyway, man, I made some smothered pork chops. Ooh. I made some. What else I made? Uh, Macaroni and cheese. Oh yeah. What else, man? What else? We on our fat stuff right now. I made some rice and what you call this? Black eyed peas. Ooh, some biscuits. And I fell asleep. I ain't watched nothing. Well, there was nothing on TV on Sunday anyway. Football wasn't. Who did you even attempt to watch the Pro Bowl?
No, I did not. I know that usually they got red and blue. I don't even know if they wore those colors this year.
Oh, I forgot. I made smoked turkey legs.
Oh man. So you was really throwing down this weekend, huh?
Oh, that's an understatement, man. So I'm fasting this week, as you can see, because I got to cleanse, man. I got to cleanse. I'm fasting. I haven't been eating till I gave up today, but the last 2 days I ain't eat till like 5 o'clock. I fast for like 21 hours.
Mm.
Yeah. So
needless to say, I'd assume the family was happy.
yeah, they were happy. Yeah, absolutely. Because we're gonna be talking about the metaverse, man. I ordered Instagram came to the house. I didn't have to go out into the public. Things got comfortable, man, over this year, man. I think it's all by design because I don't even like the public anymore. I get nervous when I see people. This has to be all by design, man. I like to say American adapt, but at this moment in time, we are like the flea story. I don't know if you ever heard about the flea story. Have you heard the flea story?
No.
You heard about it, but I'll just refresh your memory.
Okay.
Yeah, the flea could jump really high. Then they put them in a jar, right? And then they start hitting the lid. And then eventually they start jumping lower and lower. You open the lid, they ain't going anywhere. You would think the way Americans were that they would have fought more against the shutdown, but now we're comfortable. We're like, oh no, we can live like this. Less jobs out here, people are not working. So I think I'm part of that crew. I felt like, you start reflecting like, hey, wait a minute. I don't think I need to go to the office. This is set up right with the metaverse that we're going to talk about. If anybody don't know the metaverse, we'll explain that to you. The metaverse.
Yeah, that's definitely a real thing. There's a lot of things that people kind of adapted to. I know a lot of people who work in sales, they started working over the phone or over the internet. People, customer service. Shout out to the customer service agents that are working from home. Whenever you call, you hear the dog barking in the background, kids crying. Everything be going on, but they still just working and working. So
they suck, man. When the last time you called a customer service department, man? Oh, they were so bad, man. And then we still hear the the person that doesn't speak English. And then when I ask them where they from, they hang out. I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that.
Wow. Yeah, that is one aspect of it. Customer service is definitely gone down. It's crazy. Ever since people have been working from home, you notice that the wait times have been longer.
Yeah.
So I sit there and wonder, is it having a negative effect with people not being able to basically be watched?
It's a good question. I know one of our friends, he works at home, and ever since they work from home, actually sales went up, and that's something interesting to say. Sales went up, so I don't know. But we're gonna kind of touch on this Kanye West. He posted a pic with Kim and his kids baying to reunite with his family. We're gonna hit that up. That's what's trending right now. The streets gotta eat.
She belongs to the streets.
And also we're gonna talk about the White House dispute the reports of federal funds for crack pipes. Now, Will did a great job yesterday going live and touching on this subject. So he's definitely can touch on it a little bit more, and we can get into that. Also, wanted to say, why do Black community vote for Joe Biden after he created the crime bill? I wanted to touch on this, man, because there was a thing that I don't know if it went viral yesterday or whatever, but it came across my timeline with one of the comedians talking about that. I wanted to pull that up and kind of touch on what he was talking about, and it kind of brought back some feelings. So we're going to kind of touch on that. We usually touch on political topic anyway. So you could chime in, leave a comment. We might open the lines up a little bit later, but we want to touch on that. Also, 80% of women ask for divorces. Should they keep the family together? That's a question I want to throw out there. Put it in the comments. We have 50% of marriages breaking up, and 80% of the time it's the woman. So, we can kind of touch on that as well. And for the people who don't know and the people who do know, we want to talk about the metaverse. This is something that you're going to see in the future. You're going to see this. It's coming. The metaverse is coming. Mark Zuckerberg actually tried to change the name of Facebook to Metaverse. He actually trying to make his own currency called Libra. He's trying to take out the central banks, and the government stopped that right away because he knows what's about to happen. Because Mark Zuckerberg is tricking these old congressmen. He's running circles around them, and we're gonna touch on that as well. And we got to get on the BS sometimes. We got to talk about the bull crap, what we call it. Have you ever called the police on somebody? Have you ever called the police on somebody? Oh, okay, you got some stuff in here too. Did you put this stuff in?
Maybe.
I think you did because I didn't see this. Oh, live TV. So we're gonna talk about BLM has gone dark and stopped all funding. Did they? I didn't check on that. We gotta dive into that too if we can. And Amir Locke shooting brings BLM out of the shadows. They gotta get that money, man. You gotta get that money, man. Look, the streets gotta eat.
He called. She belongs to the streets.
The streets gotta eat, man.
It's interesting because and unfortunate for Amir Locke, but talking about 5 days difference. Have you heard what was going on the previous one where Black Lives Matter went dark?
No.
Okay, so pretty much Black Lives Matter. There's the founders, Patrice Cullors, and the other two. I don't really remember their names, but a lot of money going on.
One of them bought a house, right, or mansion, and quit.
Oh, not one, not two. I think 3, maybe 4. But the money was definitely going, filling their coffers, which that's what they want to do. But meanwhile, it's not going back to be able to help the people that it's supposed to help. And a lot of people had criticisms in regards to that, and then they all quit. They all stepped down when they started getting called out. So yeah. So
oh, that was a money grab.
Yeah. So there was over 60 million, I believe, that was just sitting there. And
go ahead.
What was that?
No, go ahead.
Actually, they put 2 other people that were supposed to be in charge, and they said they don't want to do it. So that's when everything was up in the air. So
wow.
Yep. But I guess convenient to them, to Black Lives Matter. Unfortunately, there was a shooting with the police officer. That's pretty much the only time that they have an involvement in the Black community is when it has to do with a police officer, shooting a Black person. you know, forget if it's anyone else, whether it's a black person or whatever, you know, it has to fit the parameters.
What's
You
the parameters? And you're
usually a white cop and black person. And however they are, it doesn't really matter. Armed, unarmed, shooting at them, not shooting at them, innocent, guilty, whatever.
in that order. Wow.
That Amir Locke thing, though, that's crazy. And you know, just from the, you know, I know that you did a video on it when it first broke. Anyone who hasn't seen it, you know, go onto our YouTube channel if you're watching from Facebook, or if you're already on YouTube, go and check it. It's just a couple of days back. I think on Friday night, actually, LaRon J had actually broke the story about Amir Locke. He got it pretty good, but it's not looking too good. And you know, for the cops, you know, at least. Did you hear some of the crazy things that people are saying?
That's what I was about to ask you. Can you pull up what was said on the platform?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, I want to hear what these guys are saying, man. But yeah, that's a touchy subject, man, because you know you got conservatives, white conservatives who, you know, pushing the narrative of, you know, cops is always right, you know, and in my opinion, they're not always right. I think it's circumstantial. And in this particular case, from the information that was given, you know, I believe the police is in the wrong. You know, just the simple fact that the amendments was for us against the government. You know what I mean? We're the people. We're in control. How you just rolling up in somebody's house and shooting them because they have a gun in the house, which they're allowed to have. And we all know, try to wake up somebody in the middle of the night and they're lethargic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, that just don't look good. And then the body cam, why didn't you put out the whole video? You know what I'm saying? Like, you selectively put stuff out because something ain't right. You know, cops don't do the whole procedures right, you know, all the time. So that's a touchy subject. Now, when it came to the one girl, I forgot her name. The one girl that got killed. You know, I felt like that situation was a little different in my opinion, you know. But this situation, come on, man. Like, you just bar somebody's house, start shooting them. He had a right to shoot you or shoot at you. You know, there was a situation where I think it was this year. A cop went into the house and the guy that was in the house shot the cop and killed him, and he got off. You see what I'm saying?
Let me just put this graphic on the screen real quick. But before we go into showing anything anyone said, let me enlarge that. Can everyone see that?
Get a one in the comments if you can see it.
So I want to talk about this because a lot of people were saying, and I'm going to go and I'm gonna read a couple of exact quotes, but a lot of people are saying he gets up with the gun, and he's pointing it at them. But a couple things to note. Number one, he's on a position to where he had to kind of roll over. He had the gun. But anyone who can see this picture, he is practicing one of the top 5 rules. Well, the top 3. Usually I hear 3. And gun safety classes. You know, definitely you don't want to point the gun at anyone or anything that you don't plan on shooting. But also, you don't have your finger on the trigger if you don't plan on shooting it. Look at where his finger is.
Right.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Now to just to piggyback on, to piggyback on that though, like when you're in that situation, things happen so fast. You know what I mean? Um, it's just like a blink of an eye, but apparently those cops had their finger on the trigger, huh?
Absolutely. And the fact that the NRA is silent on this, it's sickening because in this country, of course, we have a constitutional right to be able to bear guns, to be able to bear arms.
Right.
Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment, that's one of the things that helps to be able to protect our First Amendment. It's one of the things that helps it's supposed to be able to protect us from the government.
That's what it's for.
Protect us from tyranny. And if this isn't an example of, tyrannical types of actions, then I don't really know what is. Yep. We can't always go with the same narrative, especially if you lean on the conservative or libertarian, side of things. Why would you want to do the same thing that people who are on the left are doing? They typically stick to the same narrative no matter what.
Right.
Like, you can't have any nuance here. I mean, that's just crazy. There are very few people that if they were just awakened out of nowhere are going to just wake up and do everything perfectly. So there's a couple of things on it. Some people are arguing for or against the no-knock warrants. I'm not really for them. I understand why they're there, but at this stage, I think that procedures need to be updated.
Right.
But
I mean, personally too, if someone knocking or not knocking, let's say you got a house and you're upstairs, you may not even hear that. You just hear people busting in your house. I mean, it seemed like it was an apartment, right? I think, but
right.
Yeah, that the system is flawed, and it gives the cops too much power. But I think we'll see what happens going forward. But it doesn't look good in that situation. He's not even the guy wasn't even from there. It doesn't matter. Like how people try to take down his credibility, saying, "Well, he got a criminal background," which we don't know. But the point of the matter is, we all have rights. Even people in jail have rights. You know what I'm saying? I want to get to what the people were saying on social media. Let's hit that up and kind of.
Give me 1 second.
But yeah, we have rights, man. And as you see in the last year or so, the person that everybody thought that was going to be for the people. I don't know why they thought he was going to be for the people. He's actually did what they thought Trump was going to do. Lock us up. He locked us up before, and then Trump, like, I love that thing with Ryan. I think it was his name, Ryan, the comedian. I forgot his name, but Ryan Davis. We're going to play a clip from him as well, if you could find that one as well.
Okay.
And
so real quick, some people are saying he had a fully, he had a loaded handgun, in his shooting hand, pointed at one of the officers. People were comparing it to, George Floyd.
Just read it verbatim, so we can get the feeling of it, if you can. If not, you can paraphrase.
Well, I'm just elaborating. Some of it, I'm trying to actually find it, but
you can't find it yet. Okay. But that's all right. Well, I mean, we can get to it, we're gonna be on the show for a minute. So if you find it, we'll just stop and talk about it.
But real quick before you put Ryan Davis, just a real quick excerpt, and they're going to actually talk about the history of this. So hold on one second. I'm gonna just put this on.
The United States formed after the Civil War as a response by people bothered by the fact that formerly enslaved people were now free and were arming themselves to defend that freedom.
This is from
It called itself the Ku Klux Klan, and it organized for the first time in 1866. They were often made up of local leaders like sheriffs and judges, and they would use the force of law to disarm Black communities before rampaging through them. The so-called Black codes that the Klan pushed in the South included laws that specifically banned Black people from owning guns. And when federal law intervened, they'd tweak the laws to ban the kind of cheap guns that were affordable to both poor Blacks and poor whites, and would set up other legal red tape, similar to poll taxes, aimed at making it technically legal to own a gun, but functionally impossible. So the white terrorists of the South outnumbered the freedmen, but total cowards that they were only able to overwhelm them with violence after they'd first disarmed the people they'd then attack at night. The second push for gun control came about a century later, and again came in the wake of Black people arming up in self-defense, particularly after Huey Newton and the Black Panthers began openly carrying firearms, producing images that led Governor Ronald Reagan to start supporting gun control legislation. In 1967, 30 Black Panthers marched on the state capitol to protest that legislation. Don Mulford, a conservative Republican, successfully pushed a bill banning open carry, specifically aimed at the Black Panthers. As Reason Magazine reported, the Mulford Act had the support of the NRA. Quote, "I'm sure you are aware that I'm very grateful to the National Rifle Association for its help in making my gun control bill, AB 1591, a workable piece of legislation, yet protecting the constitutional rights of citizens," Mulford wrote in a letter. Quote, "The bill enjoyed the full support of the National Rifle Association," he wrote. So that history helps us understand what the NRA meant by, quote, good guy, in this famous clip of former head Wayne LaPierre.
The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Hey, Will, I hear an echo. Let's try to fix that.
When officers pulled Philando Castile over for a broken taillight in the St. Paul suburbs, he was a licensed gun owner and told the officer he was carrying.
What if I told you that you could get
that's pretty graphic. For those who have seen it already. If you haven't, you can look it up, Philando Castile. But so there's a history, behind these type of things. Now, the country has done a lot of things to work towards making a lot of things right. I don't want to take that away, but we have to look at where we're going, going into the future. Right. And if organizations like the NRA are, silent about things like this, they were silent about Philando Castile. They're eerily silent right now with the situation with Amir Locke. Then, of course, naturally, people are going to, start saying the NRA is racist. And, I can't really blame them. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone who's a member of it, is. But what we have to do is we have to be able to collectively either, one, voice our opinions to these organizations, to the government. Two, could do like they're doing in Minneapolis right now. They're tearing down the city. Or three, go and, deal with different organizations. But there's not going to be a situation where nothing is done. If you do nothing with situations like this, then you're kind of being active, with something. And I've never been, one to really get into the whole virtue signaling. You don't got to go on your Facebook and say, hear Amir Locke's voice, or because that's not going to do anything anyway. To be honest, but somewhere along the line, if you do want to do something, then you need to be able to speak to your local legislators, speak to if you want these things to continue on, you want the laws changed, that's who you have to talk to.
Well, the laws are not going to change.
Or what'd you say?
The law. I mean, I hear you what you're saying, and we can teach all day. It's not going to change. What's going to happen is Crump. What's that lawyer? I think his name is Crump, the black guy. He's going to come. Then you're going to see Al Sharpton because he won a piece of the money. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing but a gangster takeover. They're going to go there, and they're going to all eat from this, and they're going to pay off the family, and the family's going to get millions of dollars, and it's another body's loss. Right now, this is election season. Election season, right?
But guess where these things usually typically happen, though? They're in the same areas.
Democrat states.
What was that?
Democrat states, right?
Yeah. And they're voting. The point I'm making is that they're voting the same people in.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, it has to be insanity.
I mean, we already passed insanity. We already know this. Like, this is we're just spectating. We're just trying to eat here because nothing's going to change, right? Nothing's going to change. Right now, they're until African Americans stop doing the symbolism, which we're not, because right now they're trying to get it's the midterm election. So a guy retired in the Senate. I mean, in one of the judges, right? So right now they're saying, Joe Biden, you promised us a black woman to go in there. What does that matter when you got 12 other white people that's in there? What does this matter? We can look at Baltimore. They had all black everything when Obama was in office. They had a black mayor, black governor, black police officer, and Freddie Gray got killed, and the officers got off. And the people who killed him was black officers. So, like, symbolism does not work. We have to go off of policies. You know what I'm saying? And the piggyback on what we were talking about, this is how ignorant African Americans are. Sorry, African Americans, but this is the truth. We always talk about Reagan. Reagan did the Contra War. He put the drugs in the community. His administration, right? The planes that was, because the Senate, the Congress went against that, so they went behind their backs and gave guns to Nicaragua, some war out there, and the drugs was coming from there to Arkansas, where Bill Clinton was the governor there. So the plane was going there, and they was distributing it across the country, right? And then in the same time they're doing this, we had the DARE movement, we had the dog fighting crime, and they're sitting there, getting most people addicted to stuff. And mind you, in the 70s, it was a big issue with no jobs. You know what I mean? So got all these people all drugged up. And then in 1994, you get Joe Biden wrote this crime bill that locked all the men up. And then, I'm gonna play the video, man, and we'll
Do you have it? Because I'm about to have it. I just sent it.
I found it, but I mean, if you want to pull it up, you can.
I got
it. Okay.
1 second. All right, let me just share this real quick.
But yeah, it's just a mess, and they still continue that. Go ahead.
And I just start share it right now.
Boom, boom, boom.
I don't know how to enlarge these, so it just is what it is.
Flooded the community with drugs. That's a terrible thing. But then we asked the Democrats to do something about it.
What they do?
They locked up everybody who sold drugs and left the crackheads to raise the community. Thank you, Democrats. And this is the funny part. The person who wrote the bill for all of the locking up is the nigga you asking us to vote for now. Which is hilarious that you say the Republicans didn't do anything, when in fact, as terrible as Donald Trump is, he made it so that all of those people who were locked up were able to vote again, giving us voting power again. All those people who had felonies that could not vote can now vote again, and they voted for the nigga who put them in prison. Good job, black community. Say Reagan flooded the community with drugs.
That's what we've been saying for years, man. You know, right prior to the election. You know, on social media, people were arguing with us. You know, saying like, you know, who are you voting for, and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, I'm like this, man. Hold on, let me share this. If you just came here, share it on on Facebook, and please go on YouTube and like that our channel and subscribe, and also share it. But I'm like this. Sometimes you have to just sit back and wait. You know, there was plenty of times in the Bible where you know, God told the disciples to just go there and be present, just wait. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything right now. Now, because they need you. They need you. They need 90% of the African American vote. And for the people who keep saying, you know, the party switched, let's get this straight here, okay? The voting process was like this. The African Americans were Republicans, you know, during the slave era, right? All the way till 1930. And the reason why they changed in 1930 is because of FDR. FDR did, you know, you know, there was a lot of poverty going on because the Republicans destroyed the economy with the what you call that, the depression with the stock market and stuff. There was no regulations, and that was the birth of progressives. And you know what I mean? Around that time, so people were out, down and out, and these big time Republicans like you know what's his name, J.P. Morgan was ran he was the central bank before they had a central bank, and Rockefellers and Andrew Carnegie. There was people dying at the mill, and they have no regulations. This is what happened. So in 1930, even though FDR played the Birth of a Nation, one of the most racist movies ever, in the White House, he really did stuff for the people. Him and his wife, and he had 3 terms, I believe. You could check me if I'm wrong. Hit me in the comments. So African Americans start voting Democrat in the 30s, not the 60s, right? And the Democrat, I mean, the white, what you call racist people, start voting for the Republicans in the 80s, because you typically, white people vote with their wallet. They vote with their wallets. If the economy's going down like it is now, they will vote for somebody else. If you look at the 80s, it was a landslide victory in 1984. In 1981, we had you know, record inflation, all the stuff going on, and they raised the interest rates. And they were telling Reagan, "You making a mistake." It started getting worse. But about the time 1983 came, it was booming. Like the movie industry, people was making money. Black people were making millions then. And so 84, people vote with their wallet. Boom. There we go. And then about time the end of the year, the you know, his term, and beginning of what's his name, Bush's term, the economy went down. And that's when he was like, "We're gonna have no new taxes." And he raised the taxes. And then that's when Clinton came in, and they had a landslide victory because white people vote with their wallet, right? So 1994 came. Now, mind you, this is what Joe Biden always talk about. He always say, I was the one tough on crime." But you know why he's saying this? Because the Democrat ran the House and the Senate from 1964 to 1994. In 1994, that's when the Republicans took over in the Senate with Newt Gingrich, and They cut all this funding, and that's why Bill Clinton had a surplus. Let's talk about it. He had a surplus, but they keep going with that. Like we had a surplus when he was in, but what he did was he started this with the downfall of the 2000s because he signed that NAFTA deal, and all the companies went overseas. Right? Ain't this what happened? I mean, if I'm wrong, you come on and tell me. And the problem that Bush had was because anytime in history, if you have a war, you got to raise taxes. He lowered taxes and then went to war. And then he lowered the regulations, which was talked about in the 90s because everybody was saying that black people couldn't get a house because they're racist. You know, and so they just like, all right, well, we're gonna just everybody get a house. You get a house, you get a house. That's what happened. And then people was getting houses, and it was not a fixed rate; it was a variable rate. So one day your rent is 500, and your mortgage next time is 2,000. They couldn't pay it. Then there you go about then. So then Obama came, and right before he came in, they did the bailout. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it 100. Like I mean, in my opinion, they're all evil, but we're not paying attention. Go ahead.
Yeah. And in addition to that, for people who still believe that they switch, you could go and track the senators, the
senators, right?
The House. You could. There are people who are old enough, like people like Biden, the people that are a little bit older than him, who used to be in the be in the legislator. Remember that one guy, Robert Byrd?
They all went to his funeral. When did he die? Like, it was in our era.
Yeah,
they all was there.
05 or something, or
yeah, all the Democrats was there, and they was like, he changed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no cancel culture there, but which is it just boggles my mind. That some of these people who might talk about Joe Rogan, same people are like, Robert Byrd, though. Yeah, what was it that Bill Clinton said? He did some things he regrets. Said he was a Southern boy who grew up in a different time.
And then they look up to Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger deliberately said, "We're trying to take out the African American people." And they felt like if you're not educated, you should be killed, basically. And that's for the humanity. And Hillary Clinton still look up to her. Like it's just all they do is just change the bar. Change the name or something. Like it was eugenics. That's what it was called. You know what I'm saying? They don't have those places in rich areas. They have them in poor areas. Come on, man. Like, we're gonna talk about it. So, like, it bothers me. Like, we have to stop trying to identify with a certain party because they're both corrupt. They're both. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to do what's best for us. Like them other races. And another thing is, we have to be honest with ourselves. Only thing going to change is if you put money behind it. Like you have to look. Success leaves clues. Like the Asian community, their family, they stay together. Their median income is like over $100,000, right? They don't vote like that, but they got the money to pay the taxes. You know what I'm saying? The gay community, they got in position of power before they say who they was, right? You didn't know who was gay. And what they did was when Obama got in, they gave him money to campaign. They gave him the most money outside of Hollywood. And it's funny because when he came in office, what he did was, because you remember before that everybody like the music industry, not the music industry, but the movie industry was doing movies overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wanted them to do business here. So he gave them tax breaks to do movies in America. That's why in Pittsburgh, they started doing all these movies like Batman Return and all that stuff, because he was giving them tax breaks because George Clooney and them gave him so much money in his campaign. He had like the most money ever as the president, and he rewarded them. So my point is, You got to pay people off. People don't want to hear it. You got to pay people off. What you think happens when the the judges, they get paid off when you go to court? Something like they paying for that time. You're paying these attorneys so much money. Gangsters pay themselves off. They did it, and they just give the person the money, get me off. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to play the game. This is a game here, and the game is being played right now because they're telling people right now. They're telling people like, oh, we have a problem with voter fraud. Now, ask yourself right now, do you know anybody who that do not have a ID? Everybody has an ID. You have to have an ID to cash your check, get a beer, get a cigarette, everything. So who are you talking about that don't have an ID? Let's be honest. And if you know somebody who don't have an ID, please be a citizen and go take them to the DMV.
Right.
They can call the access ban if they own. Come on, man.
I never got it.
It's a lie. They're trying to get the immigrants to vote so they can take your spot.
Mm-hmm.
We keep lumping ourselves with this minority group. And with the minority group, you're the fifth string on the minority group, right? So, you got the people who's coming over here, Mexicans, whoever's, they're over here, they're getting all the benefits before you. And how was it that, and this really bothers me. This is my venting. I'm venting right now, but how is it the fact that the Asians get an Asian hate crime bill before African Americans did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And guess what? Everybody's going to forget about it because right now it's a push to get black women in these powerful positions, right? So they're going to put the judge in there, and it's not going to affect anything. And then they're going to try to when they run against Trump or maybe that guy from Florida, DeSantis might run on a Republican ticket. They're going to try to come in with the we're going to get a black woman in there this time. Won't you just do your job? Remember when what's the name said that, like that Charlemagne?
Yeah.
Do your job. Like, you always talk, like they always sit there and say, like, our job is to vote. Your job is to do what you're supposed to do. Right now, you have 3 branches of government in there. That's called a king. No one can fight you.
And it's been like that so many times, where, you sit there and think about different things that people who support, the leftist ideologies, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm black, you're black, so I'm especially talking about black people. What y'all don't realize is that during my voting lifetime, I could think of 3 times whenever they had complete control of the legislative and I'll say 2. But they had complete control of the legislative and executive branches. And that is now and during Obama's presidency. Mm-hmm. Both times in the beginning, they had the presidency, the Senate, and the House.
Yep.
And they will not think about you until
time to vote.
Right.
And let's talk about this now. So they shut us down, had us in the house. Most people lost their jobs, lost their businesses, and they say, no, we got you. We're going to do this PPP loan. And now we're depending on the government at this point. And so they're like, we got to pass this bill. We're going to pass this bill to give y'all money. So we're like, yay. But how you passing this bill? And there's 3,000 pages in it. We don't know what's in it. They said, no, don't worry about it. The people, we're going to take care of the people. And rumor has it that they had a bill in there to give crack pipes to addicts. Isn't that true?
Yeah. So let's talk about that. You have the.
No, I'm trying to pull it up, but I couldn't find it. But go ahead.
Yeah, pull the other banner up. But in the meantime, the White House had said that that's not true. So a couple of days ago, that's when I first started seeing, about 3 days ago, there were reports that there is a part of the COVID relief bill that goes through the HHS. I think it's Health and Homeland Services, whatever HHS is, and 30 million was supposed to go towards drug paraphernalia. One part being crack pipes, and the the White House has basically come out today and said, "Oh no, none of that's true at all." So I just want to submit to you guys two things. Number one, has anyone ever heard the government confess into being involved in putting drugs in the communities?
Not at all.
Have they ever confessed that? They to this day say no, we haven't. The people who are confessing, the drug dealers,
right?
Because they know.
That's right.
There's some cops out there, also that were talking about it. They were saying that like, hey, we were selling drugs, basically.
It's called a noble lie.
Yep. Two, the noble lie part. That's where it's really big. Okay. So this part where and go ahead and check out the video that I had did on T&J Radio on YouTube. So you can actually see a little bit more. But this is what's called harm reduction theory. So what I did was, because they basically said in our safe smoking supplies, we're not putting crack pipes. So I just did a quick search for safe smoking supplies. Here's one from Interior Health. Typically includes glass stem, 10 millimeter, used to smoke crack, a safer alternative to pipes made of plastic, pop cans, or copper, which can release toxic fumes when heated or burned. Because they're trying to preserve the environment here. Meth pipe preferred by people who use crystal meth due to the bubble at the end. Provision of meth pipes reduces the use of harmful homemade pipes that may produce toxic fumes. Once again, the environment. Plastic mouthpiece hose goes on the end of a glass stem, pipe screens, and so on. That's one place. In North Carolina, there is an organization called North Carolina Harm Reduction Coalition, nchrc.org. Go ahead and look at it. It says on here, crack is one of the most commonly used drugs in North Carolina. Why should I smoke safer? Smoking crack can lead to open sores, burns, or cuts on the lips, which can transfer blood to a crack pipe, and so on. And it goes into why non-crack smokers should care. And I can't believe that I'm even sitting here talking about crack right now. I'm sitting there thinking like this is Chappelle's show type joke material. But this is real. This is your government.
My wife said that she watched a movie, and it was basically, or I don't know if it was a sitcom. I don't know what she was. I have to ask her, but she said in the sitcom they had a facility where drug addicts can smoke crack, and they have medical professionals there just so they won't OD. And I'm pretty sure that that's real. They have something similar out there. It's kind of like the kids smoking, doing drugs out in the streets. And you're like, well, no, just smoking in the house. So you'll be. I know where you're at. But well, I don't know, man. But hopefully we wake up and kind of stay aware of what's going on, because we have the power. We'll just continue to give it to them. And I just feel like with the way they're conditioning us, we don't know what's real and what's fake. I think just even like the evolution of video games is bad. You get into this world where your dopamine is being spread, you're feeling good, and you're getting away from the world. and it's been going on since Pong, since the Atari, and it's just like I think like they're trying to condition us to just live in this bubble, in this fantasy world, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And it's scary because they know what we're addicted to. Um, Mark Zuckerberg is really like he knows what we like. He's just put like they have our data, man, and he's they got facial recognition, and they know that we're addicted to reels now. Before we were addicted to videos, now we're addicted to 15-second videos that they're posting up now, and it's like they're selling us to the highest bidder. With TikTok, and they're creating this world of metaverse. Like we are actually a cyborg right now. With our phones. You know what I'm saying? The phone is an extension of ourselves now. We can't. You ever try to leave without your phone? Most people go to the bathroom with their phone, man. Like
Man, people drive back home for that phone.
We're addicted, and they know it. We're in trouble. We feel good scrolling on the toilet. It takes us everywhere we need to go. We are a cyborg. A cyborg, and for the people who don't know, the definition of cyborg is physical abilities or that's extended normal human limitations by mechanical elements built into the body. I always wear the what you call those earbuds. It's like I got the wristband, so when I feel the beep, I press the button, and somebody's talking to me. It's like we're in trouble, and it's about to go to another level. It's about to go to another level. Facebook knows he has like billions of people that's on social media on his platform that's addicted to this lifestyle, and like I was saying before, they condition warriors. Like we used to be like. Let me rephrase this. A lion, when it's in captivity, they're conditioned to live in this. Their experiences in this cage. But for us, like the people who we are, we know something else is out there. Our instincts saying we should not be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? But since we had this pandemic, it messed a lot of stuff up because we start thinking like, well, maybe I don't need to be a fighter. Maybe I should just stay home. I'm missing my family. I don't want to work right now. I'm scared of this virus that's going on out there. So I'll just order from my phone. I'll just get everything that I need here. And maybe okay, so now we can do Zoom stuff now. So I don't even have to be there. I'm there with you, but I'm not there.
Right. Yep.
AI is emulating humans. There's gonna be a point where you're gonna be working at the factory. You're gonna put that VR on your face, and you're gonna be controlling a robot at work, and they're gonna do the work. That's where they're trying to go.
You remember that one movie, Wall-E, the kids movie?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's so funny. These are kids movies, but a lot of times they're putting real life things in there. And Wall-E, they had it to where the people were in their little chairs, they're sitting there getting fat. They had their little convenience, cups. They had their shake because they even stopped eating food. So they would just have these milkshakes that have or shakes that have all the proteins and vitamins and things like that they need. And they just sit there fat and just watch TV all day.
Look, this is Avatar. We're gonna live the real life Avatar, and they are innovating human beings out of this world. And here's the thing, though. We already given our power to China. All our businesses over there, all our medications are over there, and they're not participating in this AI phenomenon. With TikTok is over there. TikTok, their algorithms work like this. They support education, science. That's what goes viral over there. Over here, dumb stuff go viral. You know what I'm saying? We're dumbing ourselves down. And can you imagine what's going to happen? Because we're going to be in this biblical this world with the VR on our face, living this fantasy, getting these always making yourself feel happy. Like they've been conditioning us for a while of us trying to be winners. Like everybody wins. Well, when you get in this world, everybody's going to win. You know, until China come over here and dominate us because that's what they're trying to get real domination. Them in Russia, they don't play that. They don't even let their people on the computer during the week. You know, through the government request. You know, so we're in trouble.
Yeah. So I hope I just hope people are ready or preparing because otherwise this is going to get ugly.
Now, for the people who don't know what metaverse really is, but it's the virtual world that's going to that's going to take over, and it's going to be led by Elon Musk. You know, he's already starting some stuff now. You know, in Zuckerberg, and we're going to have to learn about it and go that direction in the next 5 years. They have virtual real estate that you could buy. It's something else.
And it all, to be honest, it all looks cool, but you have to look at the long term. Like if you get so caught up in that, then you're going to end up finding you're going to end up losing yourself, pretty much.
I mean, the kids is already in it because if you ever play Fortnite, you ever watch it? Like these people all across the world, they just pop in and they're just running through this town, and that's how it is. It's going to be shopping. You know, you're going to be in this world. You're going to put the little mask on it, and then you can go shopping all across the world. It's going to be a interesting dynamic, with human beings. And
well, that's an interesting thing. Do you have to wear your mask in the metaverse?
Yeah.
Do you have to have a you have to take the vacation, to go to the metaverse?
And on top of that, like I said, they're pushing cryptocurrency because they're trying to take out that central bank, and eventually they will. I mean, crypto's doing well. A lot of people are, instead of getting gold, they're getting crypto. And like I said, Mark Zuckerberg tried to create a currency called Libra, and the government stopped that because they're like, "Oh, you're going to mess up everything if you create this because you have billions of people in your database." So, but yeah, man. So watch out for that. But last thing we're gonna talk about is Kanye West, man. Have you been following the story with Kanye?
Yeah, it's been pretty sad. Anyone when you get into a marriage, it's supposed to be for life, right? We say sickness or health, better or worse, till death do we part. But unfortunately, nowadays it doesn't really happen that much for at least 50% of Americans, and probably a whole lot more. That percentage gets worse on your second marriage, and worse on the third. I believe Kim Kardashian, this is her third marriage, I believe. The second one, I can't really, I'm not going to defame her, but you could, the one to the basketball player, you can call that whatever it is. I ain't messing with them. I ain't having them coming after me, about what I say. But I'll just say that it made money. It made sense because it made dollars. But marriage is supposed to be for life. So, people get into these things, and unfortunately, people, a lot of times it doesn't work out. But what we're looking at is when it doesn't work out, for these men like Kanye, is the system fair to them? And I would emphatically say no. But
he's a billionaire. What do you mean?
Well, here's the thing. Okay. I don't know what legal steps he took. If he's a billionaire and he didn't pay $5,000 to hire an attorney, he's a fool. He can get the $1 million level attorneys, but in general, to start it off for custody, $5,000, that's the starting point, right? Do I agree with everything Kanye's doing? No. The birthday party, he's talking about, he's like, I can't go to my kid's birthday party. He's trying to find out where the party is and stuff like that. I'm like, that's none of your business. While they're with her, birthday party of it. You can have a birthday party on your own, whenever you have them.
He's still married though.
Oh, they ain't happily married. They on their way out.
Hey, marriage is not about happiness, man. It's about that.
Yeah.
If that was the case, everybody be done.
But they got all sorts of people added in there. She got the new boyfriend. He got the the girlfriend, and it's just a mess.
She belongs to the street.
So you said she belongs to the street?
But what I do think they need to do, they need to get a parenting plan together. Some, a co-parenting plan.
You don't want a parenting plan. He want his wife back.
She don't want it. Did you see what she said today?
No. What she say?
She said the mantra that a lot of women, she said, I decided to start making me happy. See, I'm gonna end up misquoting it. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
So basically what you're telling me is what?
She belongs to the street.
That's what you telling me?
I'm a quote. For so long, I did what made other people happy. Men listen, because I'm telling you that she's not the only one who's thinking like this. And I think in the last 2 years, I decided I'm going to make myself happy, and that feels really good. And even if that created changes and caused my divorce, I think it's important to be honest with yourself about what really makes you happy. I've chosen myself. I think it's okay to choose you. So what ends up happening, a lot of times you have these women who, when they get to a certain age, that's the mantra. Now, nowadays, they're actually doing it younger. They're coming in the game.
YOLO.
You only live once.
Man, look here, man. She been doing that since he was hanging with Paris Hilton, man. I don't want to hear that mess. Come on, man. What doing it? Well, if that's the case, you gotta stop listening to your mother, because the mom is the puppet behind everything. And the problem right now we're having is Chris is trying to pimp out her kids. That's what's going on, and I blame Kanye for even messing with her. He should have known what this was going to happen. I don't know why he thought otherwise. He's a rock star, but like you should have known. Everybody who messed with the Kardashians always lose. OJ, Lamar Odom. The only person who won was Ray J.
Wow. So that brings a really important point. When you're going to a relationship, before you even get to the marriage part, when you're about to get to that point, you need to find out about that family, because that's going to end up making or breaking things in the future. You need to find out how is the relationship between the mother and father. How is a relationship between them? The person that you're dating and their parents, are they getting manipulated? Did they pass on bad spending problems? Did they pass on bad relationship habits? Like you better find that out before you sign that paper.
I would say if his brother was around, he would have listened to her. I think ever since his mom passed, he went to a deep depression.
Mm.
Fame, money, and then you lose your mother, and prematurely. So I really believe he went to a deep depression. I think Kim helped him out of it a little bit, but fame is a different animal. Everywhere you go, it's paparazzi. Like he's too big. Nobody. Remember he had that song about power. Nobody should have that much power. You know what I'm saying?
I hear a lot of people talk about his mom. Where is his dad?
His dad's still around.
Yeah, I know he's around. I know
they had a relationship
now.
They had a relationship then.
What was that?
They had a relationship back then too.
He ain't telling him, like, son, I don't think that's a good idea. Or
well, here's the thing. Your mom has the biggest effect on you in your life. You know what I mean? And he was really close with his mother. So for whatever reason, his mom would have probably told him not to do that. I'm just assuming. She was in the mix, if you will. But it's sad. But I want to see them get back together for the kids. Then she's being very selfish. For the children. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to pimp them out too, and that's what he's saying. But I thought it was dope when he moved right across the street from or right next to her. That's a boss move right there. That's a boss move, man.
That's what $1 billion moves do,
But I mean, people feel sorry for Kim Kardashian because he's like harassing her right now. Mm-hmm. He's coming at her, man. He's harassing her. So, the public.
He's trying to stop that pimping stuff. He's trying to stop their, passing on the social media stuff to the next generation.
That's how I see it. But I was watching the lead attorney, and he was like, "That's what people." He was simping today, man. He's like, "That's what people do." He's like, they have childbirths on YouTube and stuff like that. I'm like, well, what I would have said if I would talk to him, like, the man runs stuff and supposedly, and he should have a say so on what you do with the kids as well. And then also if you have to look at it like the Kardashians are not happy. Why would you want to put your child in that environment? You got enough money, but they don't care. Chris has a plan, and she's trying to make pimp people. That's what she's been doing. Truth be told, what Chloe is OJ.
Yeah, and yeah, but you're right. They're not happy. Yeah, you have all sorts of stuff. You have the one best friend, she's out the picture because they ain't get along. Jordan Woods, and then you got the one, I think, husband, Travis Scott, he cheating, and they're dealing with people, and it kind of shows their esteem level. You know what I mean? They're not focused on building families. They're just basically running a matriarchy.
Right. And I think I think they were growing apart. What's the name? He start being a serious Christian. Kanye, and I think he was going a different direction. There was a couple of times when he said he thought she was trying to kill him. So I don't know, man.
I will say this. Like I said, I don't agree with all Kanye's actions. Okay, but I will say this is that when a man wants his family, a lot of times he going to do some erratic, stuff. You be going through divorce and you sitting there at your job and someone said like, "Hey, I need you to go sweep the floor." Like, you sweep the floor. You know, you're just emotional for no reason.
Yeah, he knocked out a reporter a month ago. Did you hear about that? He knocked somebody out. Yeah, man. He won his wifey, man. Yeah, I digress. Last but not least, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever called the cops on somebody before?
I've never called them on someone, but I've had like escort type assistance, and in that situation, it was interesting, because they got there and they see my gun and they're like, "Hey, for our comfort, I called them." They're like, "Hey, are you willing to, put the gun away?" I didn't really have time to argue, because I needed assistance, with handling a situation. But
have you ever had somebody in the car and they were unruly and you drove them to the police station like
man, you making me think of them taxi cab confession days, man. When I used to do the cab or when I used to do the illegal jitney cab back in the day.
Tell the story.
Oh man. I those situations of calling the cops, now that I think about it, it never really ended up getting there, because once I had 911 on the phone, they get out the car, run.
All right, tell the story though, because we don't. The people don't know. I know the story. The people don't know. Tell the story.
Like this. Well, one situation. Remember, this is the cash society. This ain't the Uber time. Nowadays, where there's no cash. But I'm on my way to take a young lady to her location, and I'm like, hey, the trip's going to be. I don't know what it was. It might have been like $12 or something like that. I feel kind of bad saying it, but it's probably less. I'm just inflating the amount a little to make it sound better. Like, man, he called the cops over
for $2.
But at that point, when you figure that people aren't going to pay you, you're like, all right, I need you to just get out my car. And sometimes they're like, no, I'm not getting out.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
All right, say it the way she said it. Come on, tell the story. Come on.
I can't say it like that. I don't. My voice don't go that way. But she said she ain't getting out. So trying to.
Was she aggressive? Was she like, I ain't getting out? Or she said, I ain't getting out, man. How'd she do it?
Just more like, no, she wasn't aggressive. Okay. But she wasn't.
I said, okay, good.
It's kind of stubborn, like a.
So why you call the police on somebody who wasn't? So you called the police on her for $2?
Because I'm trying to get her out my car so I can go get to the next trip, so I could go keep working.
Okay, so you didn't want to take her to the destination because she didn't have any money.
Well, what she was saying is that like, hey, I'm not at my destination. I'm like I'm not taking you to your destination for free.
Ooh, so cruel.
No, I offered to drop her off.
Mom, where's she no money? What she was getting abused somewhere, and you couldn't take her to her destination. You called the police on her. Wow.
Well, they never came. Like I said, once it gets
out the car,
they sometimes they get scared and run.
Okay, so she ran.
Yep. After she slammed my door.
Did you say some vulgar language when she slammed the door and drive off?
I would like to say that I prayed for her. I don't know if blessing or cursing came out at that time, but
let me tell you, I got 911 on speed dial for anybody try to trip on me, man. Shoot, I think I called the police on my neighbor. I thought he was doing some illegal activity next to my house back when I was in Pittsburgh. Going outside, coming from the bar, pulling outside. Oh, I couldn't stand the neighbor, man. I called the police on him. Doot doot. Hey, this guy, he's still out here. You ever call a police on somebody who, like if they were fighting? You ever hear somebody fighting next door or in an apartment or across the street? You ever call the police on them?
No. I'm not saying this is good, but in the times when I lived in those type of neighborhoods, it was like a mind your business type thing.
Wow. So you hear them shots, you be like, you start looking out the window, slipping like, you're watching.
Thankfully, never heard anything like that. But it's a shame because domestic abuse and violence is real, But unfortunately, a lot of people who are going through this situation, male or female, they stay and they keep going back.
Okay, so you called the police on a little girl trying to get home, and she told you she didn't have any money. You kicked her out in the winter.
That was a lady. That was a grown woman.
Okay. All right. With that, we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it on that note. Dope show again. We appreciate the cats who's watching. If you are right now new, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Also hit that notification bell. We actually have a sponsor we're going to play real quick. Check out one of our sponsors, afjcworldwide.com. That is afjcworldwide.com for our latest apparel, homeware, and drinkware. Definitely get a shirt for your husband, wife, doesn't matter. Again, check out afjcworldwide.com. I'm going to leave you with the last words.
Well, main thing I'd say is this: in regards to the relationships, make sure that you get to know what you're getting into. Valentine's weekend's coming up. Y'all better stay woke. Don't get caught up in some stuff you don't want to be. But other than that, we out. Be safe. Stay humble.
And we're gonna leave you with this message by Kanye.
Come and do it yourself. Halfway, take a few steps back to go. You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. Kanye. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. Kanye. I've been doing this more than you.
You ain't got the answers, man. But if she don't answer the phone, man, she's for the streets. I holla.